Hello, hello, hello. Hello. There we go. 10 or 11 people. Yeah, sorry guys, was dealing with a few issues with some of the turnouts in the leagues, but yeah, hello everyone. Unfortunately, no Lickle blocks tonight. Currently doing commentary for another league and hasn't done his homework yet, so it's just me. 12 drivers? Respectable. So here we are, Brazilian Grand Prix. Obviously a big race for the young man Leroy, who can take the title tonight. So yeah, just bear with me because I'm doing it all alone. And they're crying in the admin chat a little bit. But yeah, hi Aaron, Callum, Jack Tyler, as usual. So when my phone loads, we'll get the standings up. But yeah, only 12 drivers, so no Lordy, no Lars, no Ferrari guy as well, so a bit of a shame. But yeah, 12 people. It could be worse, is what I'll have to say. So yeah, Leroy leads the championship on 111 points, ahead of Powdy on 84. Sophie is third on 66, followed by Schwab on 58, Phoenix 51, then Zexa on 40. And it looks like we're going to be loading into the session already. And Callum, I know it's boring without Lickle. Good. There we go. So, loading into qualifying now, and so we are loading into qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix. The soft, medium, hards, obviously, like every second. It's an easy one-stop, soft to medium. So we're going to be seeing all the drivers do 4 runs on the softs. Which is good. I'm just getting the stream back up on my phone. There we go. That's much better. Yeah, so qualifying here at Interlagos. Interlagos is literally means in between the lakes. So yeah, 12 drivers here. A very short lap. We'll be seeing times in the low 1 minute range. So can anyone stop Leroy from winning the title? There's only one man who can, and it is Powdy. Powdy's the only one who can stop Leroy from taking the title. But it does look like a foregone conclusion. And have I got a bit of the engine glitch? I have. So I'm going to leave and rejoin. Yeah, so bear with. I think Lickle actually is going to be joining in the end, so it's just that I'll be streaming. Lick. Oh. Yeah, I'm just inviting Lickle to the lobby, so I think Lickle's actually going to be doing it. So that should be all set and all ready to go. So hopefully that's all the technical difficulties out of the way. And we can load into the qualifying session. And there we go. The engine sound is back. Thank God. So let me just turn the audio down slightly. And there we have it. On board with White Shadows in the Renault on an out lap. Anyone on a lap? Let's go on board with Leroy in the McLaren Renault. The championship leader, the title contender. On course to become the youngest ever PSGL champion at just 11 years of age. Currently the record is held by Ash Best Blizzard at 13, winning the F1 title. So, you know, a big achievement for Leroy, and maybe we'll see him in F3 or F2 in the future, as we've got Jay Jatex in the chat, a regular viewer of the F4 stream. And for those wondering where Lickle is, he says he'll be able to join after he's finished eating, so just bear with my voice for now while Lickle devours whatever he's eating. So yeah, through the final corner, the iconic Zheng Xiao corner, easy to mess up, and obviously if you mess up that corner, you run down this long pit start finish straight. It's compromised and you use time throughout it. So yeah, what can Leroy do on the soft tyres? And it's an 8.7 for Leroy. 5 tenths clear of White Shadows as Powdy slots into 4th on a 15.2. So I think we'll see times right into the low 1 minute 8s is what I'd be expecting. So on board with Mike Messi. What can he do on the medium tyres in the Alfa Romeo? And it's a 9.9 for Mike Messi. It's not too shabby there for Mike Messi. Has a lot of fans, does Mike. SSR Phoenix usually is up there fighting for podiums, fighting for the odd victory. So let's see what Phoenix can do in the Toro Rosso. Round 11 of the season, we've got Japan, then the season finale in Abu Dhabi. But I think the title race will be done and dusted by then, so perhaps we'll have some more open races and people perhaps riding a little bit more dirty, out of school feel. So Phoenix taking the shortest run to the line on the soft tyres. What can he do? And it's pole position as well, so it's another man in the 8.7. So it's 8.7 for Phoenix, 8.7 for Leroy, and it's a 9.2 for White Shadows. Who's next out there? Zexa in the Williams. Took his maiden F4 win back in Singapore. Missed the last race, but he's back. And can he follow it up with another podium? In the Rocket Williams. Zexa 52.3, so I think he's on course to put it right there. Well, look at that from Powdy, a 9.1 on the mediums. It is a short lap, so the harder tyre isn't really that much slower, as Frome slots into 3rd place, but so like a 10th here is a few tenths around a longer circuit. So Zexa in the Williams does an 8.8, so already, because a 10th separates the top 4, Phoenix, Leroy, Frome and Zexa. And I have to agree with Jay Chatex, slower times, perhaps it's going to be a wet race, but I hope not. But we'll soon find out. Obviously Interlagos renowned for the wet conditions, especially in real life. You know, 2012, 2016, 2008, a lot of iconic, dramatic wet races. But hopefully tomorrow night in F1 it is dry, so Louis actually has some competition. Anyone on a lap time? Or was a bit of a lull at the minute? Jack Tyler back from his race ban. Jack Tyler handed a race ban for some shoddy driving. So yeah, Jack Tyler in the Mercedes-Benz. The Silver Arrow got a bit of a car ahead of him. So Dre Bay. Is Dre Bay on a lap? He does run wide, so let's him through. So yeah, Jack Tyler 6 tenths down on, let's say, the best middle sector time. So yeah, Jack Tyler really looking to maybe do a 9 again, but he's going to run out of Versal at the end of his lap, so he's on a bit of he's going to be D-rating down the straight, but surely he's going to improve on the hard tyre, and he does slightly. So there's a 9.6 on the hard, so a reasonable effort there from Jack. But to be honest, there's no need to touch the hard tyres around here, but maybe he's going on the mediums afterwards. I'm not too sure. Corboy next up, won at the Hockenheim Ring in the Racing Point. Very key, it seems, especially with ABS. You can easily brake on that, let's say, Astro stuff. I remember Blizzard and a few others doing it. It's a great effect on last game, but with no ABS, it's a little bit more tricky. But I think that's probably the fastest lane you can take. So shortest run to the line from Corboy, out of deployment, and it's only a 10.0 for Corboy. So we've got lap times from the top 11, but Sophie in 12th yet to come out and set a lap as she tends to do. So back on board with Leroy in the McLaren Renault. As I said just a bit earlier, on course to become PSGL's youngest ever champion, and you know he's destined the big things for sure. F2 or maybe F3 for Leroy. So 16.8 in the first sector. So the top F1 guys will be doing 16.6s in that first part of the lap. So what can he do through this tricky middle sector? He turns up the door right-hander. Very tricky braking, so with no ABS, easy to lock up the car, but yeah, obviously Leroy winning the assist, benefiting from that electronic device with a bit of traffic just ahead. So that's certainly going to put him off. There's Coreboy, smashes the wall as he tries to get out of the way. So a bit comical there for Coreboy, but I think Leroy, you know, the guys are getting out of the way, but it is still very distracting and it can be very off-putting. So Leroy, 3/10 up in the middle sector, through Jun Shao onto the start straight once again. So yeah, Leroy's about to get into the 8.3s, 8.4s. Takes the shortest onto the line. Plenty deployment from Leroy. Doesn't really stay in the middle. He doesn't stay left of the track. He goes to the middle of the track, which is a little bit strange in my opinion, but still a good effort there from Leroy. On board with the main man, Powdy. Leroy's title contender, the two Irishmen. So yeah, let's see what Powdy can do. So I'm just fiddling with some of the... There we go. So yeah, on board with Powdy, the other Irish. Many Irishmen. We've got Leroy. We've got Powdy. We've got Mike Messi. We've got someone else. Coreboy as well. A lot of Irishmen. As we've got Adam Clark in the chat. Mike Messi's a #1 fan. So hello to Adam. Good to see him back with us tonight. So yeah, Powdy. He's been in F1. He's been in F2. He's been in F3. And he's also been in F4. So you know, Powdy has been around the block. He can win many Grand Prix. And I think he's just messed up his lap actually. A bit of oversteer there for Powdy. So I think that's him done and dusted. No, it's not actually. I thought he did have a bit of oversteer there, but no, he is slightly up. But no, to be fair, he is only slightly up on his medium lap actually. So a bit of a disaster. That's Mike Messi. Let's see what Mike Messi. You know, let's give Mike Messi a bit of airtime as he returns to the pit lane for his fan in the chat, Adam Clark. Anyone else out there on a lap at the moment? Game Freaker goes second actually on an 8.5, so I missed that as Phoenix goes first on an 8.3. So lap times are really tumbling in these overcast conditions. You know, tyres really want the track finally rubbing in. So it's an 8.3 from SSR Phoenix. A very solid lap time there from him. So a good up there from Phoenix. Game Freaker, Frome. Let's see what Frome can do. Is he out of it? I think he looks to be going quite steadily, unless that's a lap for flying Frome nowadays. It did look steady, but let's see how his sector times are looking through this middle sector. And he's 9/10 down. I thought it did look steady. White Shadows though, a 10th up. Might be able to get a bit of a distant tow, a little bit too far. Who's that, Williams? Why is he so close? Is he getting a bit of a tow? Is it Zexa? No, it's not. Who's the other Williams? Dre Bay. Is Dre Bay getting a tow? No, he's not. Disappointing. So White Shadows goes 4th, so I couldn't find him in the end. But yeah, White Shadows goes 4th. So a good luck there from White Shadows. Had a bit of a difficult debut, but looks more attuned to the Interlagos circuit. Now Bobby Jack Tyler, as I said, back from his race ban in the Mercedes. Through this very tricky middle set. It's easy to lose the rear of the car. Very tricky, as I just said. So yeah, Jack Tyler pounding around on the set of soft tyres. Flat out left-hander. Coming through the tricky final proper corner. The run obviously paramount through Jun Shao onto the start finish straight. That curve does send you spinning. But Jack Tyler keeps the throttle down beautifully and powers down the start finish straight once again. So what can Jack Tyler do? And it's P4 for Jack Tyler on an 8.6.909. So yeah, Jack Tyler goes 4th as Sophie's starting from 12th. As she tends to do, and she'll probably get the fastest lap. But with Zexa, P7 at the minute on a 16.8 in the first sector, a 10th up. So look, time's really tight. 3/10, no, half a second from 1st to 7th place. So every 10th counts, and certainly I think in the F1 League we'll be seeing slipstreams being given, especially to the title contenders, because their teammates are their wingmen as Zexa runs wide at Jun Shao. So yeah, Jun Shao really catching a few drivers out there. Zexa possibly gets slightly, but 6 minutes left. You can get 4 runs in on the soft tyres, so plenty of time for Zexa to atone for his sins. As Mike Messi looks done. Anyone on a lap? There isn't, so I'm just gonna check my phone and have a drink. I'll just check how F3 and F5 are getting on. As the league director, of course. Where's the F3 screen? There we go. Just 10 people and it's Jack. It's Jay Fletcher. Or Jai Fletcher on provisional poll. What a surprise. And yes, one more. I do agree profusely. The turnouts are looking not great, but luckily we've got plans in place to ensure that PSGL is great again on a Sunday night. Because certainly this season it's been quite disappointing, but you know we've got plans in place, and obviously I think it's quite obvious what we're going to do, and yeah, we'll make PSGL great again, in the words of Donald J. Trump. So on board with Powdy in the Scarlet Red Furrow, the Irishman looking to stop Leroy for winning the title here at Interlagos. And yes, one of the roving door does need to be jammed. So on board with Powdy through the iconic Center S section. A little bit trickier in these cars due to the understeer and lack of ballast. I really do miss the ballast to get me around these corners. But yeah, Powdy really struggling with a bit of front end understeer rather. So yeah, Powdy in the first sector, and it's only a 17.0 from Powdy, so yeah, he really can't get it in. He just can't get the car turned in round into Lagos in that first sector. I don't know what wings he's running. Maybe he's running too low front wing, but who knows. But Powdy really struggling to get the car really wrenched, as Aaron would say. So yeah, Powdy has backed out again. So it's another soft lap bottled from Powdy. So yeah, Powdy really can't get a lap hooked up on those soft tyres. And he... Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Is anyone actually on a lap? No. So that's why I'm flying through him as he takes us up on this outlap of the iconic Interlagos circuit. Beautiful. The Racing Point. I do miss the Force India, but you know, the Racing Point, at least it's a well-funded, well-run team, and it's going to be on the grid for many seasons. This is a shame that Lance Stroll is going to be on the grid for many seasons as well. But as you can see, just 5/10 separates Phoenix in first and Zexa in 7th place. So yeah, we're going to stand while we're flying for him to see what he can produce, what he can conjure up for us, for all our viewers. What can the old man flying for him do? Round into Lagos, in the Racing Point, heavy braking into the Center S. And unlike Powder, he can really get the car turned in a little bit slow, I'd say, a little bit of oversteer on the exit, but yeah, flying for him. A lot more steering, like obviously using the wheel. So yeah, flying for him. 300 up in the first sector. But the middle sector is probably where he needs to find a little bit more time. Currently 4/10 shy of Phoenix's early benchmark. Yeah, flying from currently having a difficult season, it's fair to say. Currently P9 in the championship on 30 points, missing the first 2 races as he was an F3. But yeah, flying from a man who could have been driving an F1 in season 21, but declined the offer and decided to race in the CES pits. That is F2. So yeah, flying from only 8,000ths of a second up in the middle sector. So yeah, flying from really not really finding much time. He's not really flying, is he, around this Interlagos circus, and he's pitting. So would he have another set of tyres ready? Would he be able to get back out in time? You know, it's a very long turnaround, but it's a very short outlap. Dre Bay, what can Dre Bay do as Mike Messi's out? Dre Bay's 4/10 up, and he's looking to put it around 4th, put it around 5th place. So what can the Canadian do? Dre Bay finished on the podium in Singapore, but got disqualified for not completing enough laps as per the regulations. So Dre Bay in the Williams, and it's P4 for Dre, so a great last sector. Puts in P4, just 2/10 shy, but we've still got some big hitters to come. Like Phoenix, Leroy, Game Freaker, and co. Anyone on a lap? Not just yet. So let's see who's going to be. Who do we want to watch? Who's furthest? Oh. Yeah, sorry guys. I clicked the wrong thing again. Oh. Yeah. Why does it do that? So I want to view their profile when I don't. So, oh well, we got Tyler then. in the Mercedes, the Silver Arrow through Sector 1. Jack Tyler, a couple of podiums to his name, but yet to win after finishing runner-up in F5 last season. Through the Senna S, once again deploying the staying in hot lap rather than going into overtake. So we get Tyler through the first sector, and it's a 0.815 from Jack Tyler in the first sector. So yeah, a big improvement from the young man. Only 2 tenths off pole, so half a tenth in the first sector is a big gain around such a short circuit in terms of time. 1 minute 8, and we'll be seeing probably 1 minute 7.5, 7.4 perhaps in F1 tomorrow night. So yeah, Jack Tyler in the Mercedes, undulating through the middle sector of the circuit. Let's see how he copes with the fast out left-hander. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy through Junshow, takes a lot of curb once again, and goes on that curb as well, which can just spit you out. So he needs to be careful in the race. But yeah, Jack Tyler obviously will take the shortest run to the line as Dre Bay, qualifying his son P4 for Dre Bay. What can Jack Tyler do? Doesn't decide to use overtake, and that's a very dodgy line to the line, and it's P2 for Jack Tyler, but really that was not the shortest run to the line. But what can Leroy do? The title contender, the title leader, he can win the title today, and he's 3 tenths up in the middle sector. So yeah, Leroy is about to take provisional pole position off Phoenix, who improves to a 0.2. So Leroy next up, the day he can win the title if results goes. Where's Powdy? Goes P2, but what can the championship leader do? Leroy, will he put it on pole? And he does, and it's an 8.1 for Taze Leroy. He does it again. No one can stop this young man in F4, and it's Taze Leroy on pole with an 8.153. Is anyone else like that? Where is he? Zexa. On board with Zexa, 4 tenths up. So he's looking to put it around Game Freaker. I think he's going to put it around 4th. So what can Game Freaker do in the Williams? And he goes, I don't really see where he went. It's a 0.2 from Zexa. Oh no, he invalidated. So Zexa invalidates his effort and stays in P9. But yeah, Leroy, when it matters, when the pressure's on, he still gets a lap together and puts it on pole position. So there we have it. Leroy's on pole position for McLaren on 8.1. Phoenix is 2nd. Powdy 3rd. Game Freaker 4th. Jack Tyler 5th. Trey Bay 6th. White Shadow 7th. Flying Foam is 8th. Zexa is 9th. Mike Messi is 10th on the mediums. Callboy and Sophie round out the grid. And Callboy and Sophie obviously will get fresh tyres. So I got up there from Taze Leroy and 8.1 on the soft tyres. Because the 10th clear of SSR Phoenix. And I'll be back in just a minute drawing the formation lap. So the formation lap is now underway. See what tyres everyone's on. So yeah, it's mediums for Mike and Sophie, while hards for Callboy. It's a bit of a strange decision there. For Callboy, considering it's an easy medium to soft. But people don't do their homework, it's fair to say. And obviously, Jay, we're looking to perhaps just have 2 Sunday leagues for next season. So there's going to be some overlap when it comes to F3 and F4. And obviously we've got the F5 guys as well, so certainly going to be a different looking Sunday night tiers, but I think having just 2 leagues with reserve drivers will be the way to go, considering how shambolic some of the turnouts have been in F3 and F2 especially. So yeah, so it's going to be 36 laps of this legendary Interlagos circuit here in Brazil. And Taze Leroy is on 111 points. Powdy is on 84 points. The gap is 27 points. If Leroy leaves today with a lead of 34 points or more, then he will be crowned F4 champion. The youngest PlayStationGL champion, beating the record set by Ashbest and Blizzard, who got it identically the same days and months or whatever. It's identical between Ash and Blizzard for the F1 titles. So the car takes to the grid for the 11th time this season here in Brazil. There's no Lickle C action just yet. Maybe Lickle will join later on, maybe he won't, but it's Leroy on pole position, Phoenix in P2, Powdy, the man who can stop Leroy, in third, Game Freak in fourth, and Jack Tyler, the man, the myth, the legend, in fifth. Here we are for the 11th time this season in F4. The cars line up on the grid once again. It's Leroy on pole position. Will today be the day for him? It's 5 lights. And away we go here in Brazil. So a good start there from Leroy. Phoenix will be looking to launch one down the inside. Look at for the Ferrari of Powdy. Side by side action through Powdy and Phoenix. But Phoenix, Powdy's been round. Powdy's round. Powdy, disaster for Powdy there. And as it's all gone in Leroy's hands already. Leroy is going to be champion as it stands after Powdy's bottle at the start. Naivety. As we've got a bit of side by side action with Jack Tyler and Dre Bay. Dre Bay as, Jack maintains the position. Dre Bay in fifth. Zexa's sixth. Flying Foam side by side with Sophie. Great start from Sophie, but Flying Foam has the high ground and the inside line. Sophie settles into 8th, White Shadows 9th, Paul Boy in 10th, and Mike Messi in P11. So Powdy already down to P12, and a disastrous start there from the Irishman. He's got his work cut out with Leroy on course to be taking the title here today. So Leroy leads the way by 6 cents. Phoenix is second, Game Freak third, and Jack Tyler in P4. So Game Freak sticking with Phoenix through Jung Shao, only 3 tenths behind Phoenix, and surely be looking to make a move into the Senna S. So Leroy 6 tenths clear. Slipstream DRS are very overpowered. Obviously, short track means there's going to be a lot of slipstream trains as Game Freak is looking to launch one down the inside perhaps, but Phoenix is just far enough ahead. Further back, Flying Foam's making a move. So Flying Foam has just got past Zexa for P6. So Flying Foam after a difficult qualifying, making moves already. Back on board with Game Freaker, sticking with the leading two. Game Freaker yet to win a race this season. That man's not really won too many races recently, but podiums, and he's always got the pace. He doesn't really get the results, but he's always got the pace, and it's good to see his experience is finally coming out on show. Got some decent race pace, it seems, in these early parts, pressuring Phoenix for P2. So as expected, the top 4 staying within DRS range of each other. When the DRS becomes active, that will be the crucial part, especially for Phoenix, because Game Freak and Shaq look a little bit quicker at this stage. So the DRS from Leroy will be able to protect and maintain the position. But Leroy extend the gap to 8 tenths, so he'll be looking to break the DRS range as Jack Tyler, a man who's very greedy when it comes to his deployment, already on 24%. That's 11.6 from Jack Tyler, obviously deploying a lot more reserves, it's fair to say, already down into 32% here on lap 3 at Interlagos as Jack Tyler. He's deploying reserves, but he certainly looks the faster of the two. Game Freaker on 44% of the Jack Tyler already down into the teens. So we get Jack Tyler looking to go around the outside of Game Freaker. Game Freaker goes defensive and will have the inside line and maintains position. But we saw on the exit, and Jack Tyler does a perfect up and under there, but Game Freaker will have the inside line. A little bit of contact there. Game Freaker runs wide slightly. Jack Tyler looking to go around the outside of Game Freaker, and that's a stunning manoeuvre from the young man. So Jack Tyler in the Mercedes up to P3. A great move from a man who got a race ban due to dirty driving last time out. So Jack Tyler with a great move and a great job. That's why perhaps deploying Euros early on is a good decision to be able to make moves and make gains. But Leroy already a second clear of the field as Powdy's up to P11 past Mike Messi for P12. Further down, Flying Foam looks quite close to Grey Bay, so let's see what's going on here. Flying Foam on 60% ERS, so not in high, so he's just sitting in. He's got Zexa just behind him. He's got a lot more to play with. As Jack Tyler sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix and looks very fast. Let's go back on board with Jack Tyler because he looks to be closing in on Phoenix, who's renowned for having too much ERS. as Leroy's actually lost the DRS gap as Powley sets the fastest out of the Grand Prix. There's a bit of side-by-side action in the midfield we could perhaps have a look at. Powley. No, Powley and Corboy. So yeah, Corboy looking to go down the inside of Powley. The two had a bit of a collision last time out, which was ruled no further action. So yeah, bit of history as they've collided and Corboy looks done and dusted. A bit of a racing incident perhaps there. I'd need to rewatch it, but disaster for Corboy and another collision with Powley. So yeah, Corboy looks out. He looks done and dusted for this evening, which is a shame, but down to 11, meaning more points for everyone else, I guess. So onward with Phoenix. 5 tenths behind Leroy for the lead of the Grand Prix. Leroy cannot break DRS. With Phoenix and Jack Tyler behind, Game Freaker has struggled a little bit this lap and has dropped out of DRS range. So Jack Tyler opens his DRS once again, deploys his doesn't like to use the overtake. Perhaps I need to tell him that overtake is the way to go when making moves. As the name would suggest, overtake is good to overtake. As Jack Tyler makes a bit of a mess of the center S. Got a bit greedy on the curb. Phoenix isn't looking to make a move on Leroy. He's just happy to sit in. Happy to make the most of Leroy. Pulling him along and helping save the Earth. May even save the tyre slightly. And yes, Jay, that is a good point. But don't stout 19 laps like Ushin did in F6 and get undercut. But yeah, certainly it's not going to be too OP. If you can work together with people, because you know how people are sometimes. They like to battle for the sake of battling and lose DRS on the cars ahead. Let's just battle and lose 5 seconds for a bit of fun. As Zexa launches it on Flying Throne. Oh, a bit aggressive there. As Cam says he might retire from league racing. Can you elaborate, Cam? Why do you want to retire? I swear you're quite young. Well, you're F7, so I guess you're towards the start of your league racing journey. So yeah, a bit aggressive there from Zek. So you know he really launched it. HMFC style. You know, that's what you want to see there. People are launching it. But Phoenix looks to have good pace, making the most of it. Oh, he's him! Oh, Jack Tyler's hit Phoenix. Jack Tyler for the camera work. But yeah, Jack Tyler has got damage hitting the back of SSR Phoenix. A little bit nice. Even Ushin. JT Killer 1. JRD's easy bot as Jack Tyler launches it down the inside with wing damage on Phoenix. He's going to be an angry man now. But no, Phoenix maintains the high ground. As Jack really just needs to save some of his in 8%. Back on board with the broadcast cam. These beautiful helicopter shots. Seeing these cars just drive through this middle sector. Jack Tyler with wing damage, Game Freaker behind, but Drape quietly going about his business very well, flying for him as well. So yeah, everyone within DRS range of each other. Leroy, Phoenix, Jack Tyler, Game Freaker, Drape, flying for him, and Zexa, all within DRS range for each other. So anyone can win, and this is the beauty of Interlagos. You cannot break DRS unless you're Louis Welch. But with Blizzard, the Hitman Blizzard on show, I don't think Louis Welch is going to be breaking too many DRS as Phoenix uses overtake as we approach lap 6, and Leroy is just going to let him through perhaps. Oh, look at the overspeed. Phoenix leads the Brazilian Grand Prix. Leroy slots into second, and these cameras are not that great. Sorry, I'm just getting used to it. So I don't usually stream. Lickle's usually doing all the camera work, so perhaps they're a little bit dodgy, but hopefully we're capturing the action as much as possible. So look at that snake of cars, along Shalong, as Gamer called it in the F1 chat. We've got 7 cars, all within DRS range of each other, as Phoenix leads the Brazilian Grand Prix ahead of Leroy. But Leroy surely will be becoming F4 champion come the end of the Brazilian Grand Prix. But Powley, I won't rule Powley out. He's got great pace, and he's not that far off the lead. Powley is only 6 seconds off the lead. So I won't rule out Powley because he's set fast laps, and he's clearly got the paces. We've got the bomb in the chat, as you can see. The bomb. Hello. Mr. Bomb. Hopefully we'll see you back racing next season somewhere if family life allows it. So yeah, staying with Leroy. 64. Oh, and he's bowled it out of Jun Shao. You know, Jun Shao looks an easy corner, but really it's a very tricky corner, especially if you lack a little bit of experience, as Leroy does. So yeah, Phoenix looking more composed through Jun Shao, and Leroy really fucked it up slightly. So anything going on further back? Powley around the outside of White Shadows, and it's another move for the Irishman, 11.7 on the last lap. So yeah, Powley really looking strong at this phase of the race, and I think his plan for the rest of the soft stint is just to close up onto the back of Zexa and maybe try and undercut a few cars, because his pace looks very strong on this. this stage of the Grand Prix. I'm getting a bit of drama off all this talking. So yeah, back on board with Leroy through the middle sector of the lap. Lap 8 of 36. We've got a long way to go, and it's good to. It's fair to say, any of these men, the top 8 could all win. As Dre Bay is just overtaking Game Freak in the middle sector, so he's probably launched that. And this obviously is the scene of the crime. That's what I'd say. And yeah, Aaron, Nino has no internet for the rest of the season, so yeah, Nino unfortunately is ruled out for the remainder of the campaign, which is a shame because it's fair to say Nino's pace is absolutely outstanding, breathtaking, as Dre Bay has sort of bottled it up. But we need to watch on board for the lead of the Grand Prix. Leroy down the inside. And Leroy takes the lead in the Grand Prix, but I've got to go back. There's all sorts going on. It's going to be 4 in a bed, 3 in a bed. Dre Bay, side by side. It's going to end in tears for someone, surely. Who's going to end in tears for? But no, clean, great racing there. Game Freaker. Let's Game Freaker. On board with Game Freaker. Flying Throne gets 2 into one corner. So great move there from Flying Throne. Finally, his age and his experience is finally paying off. As Flying Throne takes the position. Game Freaker 5th. Dre in 6th. So yeah, great action there. The broadcast cam didn't really capture it as well as I would have liked, but I tried to capture the lead battle, but also this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. Great stuff with the sector just behind, but you know, great racing from these, let's say, veteran drivers like Sofrome and Game Freaker, who have been around the block and seen many places. And yeah, Nino is very rapid. I don't know what league to put him in next season, but he's very quick, but his results don't really match up, is what I'd say, as Leroy's really beginning to extend his advantage up to 9/10 of a second. But Phoenix has got 100% of reserves basically, so he can just deploy it all and stay within DRS range. But I think we're going to move on to Dre, because Dre looks quite close to Game Freaker. As you can see, it was a 30 on the last lap, which has allowed Powdies to close right up. So yeah, Powdies in the mix. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. Who is it? And it's Coreboy. Done and dusted again. Bossled it. But his race is done. So who else can we go on board with? Where is he? Zexa. Zexa down the inside maybe. Has a little bit of a look, but cannot get the move done. And Lordy, I don't know where Lordy. I think he's just given up this season. Out of motivation. That's what happens to Lordy most seasons, to be honest, Tom. He just gives up. And you know, he's had a wretched campaign. Maybe a move down the divisions could do him some good. Very turgid. You know, the league admin can't be asked. That's always what you want. So, Game Freaker in 5th. Flying Throne says he's struggling for pace around here. Oh, and Flying Throne hits Jack Tyler. Jack Tyler obviously calling Throne a cunt after Jack Tyler got a race ban from the stewards. So, Scoreboy's out. Bit of a shame for him, but something on the hards was definitely the wrong decision. But yeah, Flying Throne's got great race pace. Looks to go around the outside of Jack Tyler. Jack Tyler certainly will defend hard. And he goes around the outside beautifully. Obviously, Jack Tyler's still got that wing damage. So, yeah, Jack Tyler, I keep saying, as Jack Tyler with the wing damage gets through the centre. S Game Freaker is going to make it 3 in a bed, perhaps. Round the outside of Flying Throne. And cannot get the move done. And it's fair to say Jack Tyler's wing damage has sort of ruined the battle for the win. The battle for the win's between 2, not 8 now. But yeah, Jack Tyler with his wing damage is entitled to fight. He's entitled to hold them up, because he is battling these guys for a podium. But when he pits for that fresh wing, he's certainly going to drop well down, which is a shame, but it was his own doing. So let's go on board with Dre Bay. Will Dre Bay launch one? No. Zexa maybe? No one's really launching it as much as I'd like. As Leroy finally broke the DRS. Yeah, Ushin, you'll get your admin role when I'm in charge, maybe. So yeah, Jack Tyler will stay out of that. Obviously, soft to medium is the strategy, so the driver can push hard and push long. You can go 20 laps on the softs if you wanted. As Jack Tyler pits for his new wing. As these 4 cars have all got DRS on each other, so not really any moves going on. All settling down a little bit, settling it into position. And if someone wants to, someone can tell me how F3 is going, who's winning F3? Guy Fletcher winning with a 20-second time penalty with a bit of a lag. Is there going to be a bit of team orders at Williams? No, not too much. I think there was. I think yeah, Trey's been let Zexa past for P5 with the White Shadow doing his job. Yeah, and there we go. That's how I predicted. Powdy, he thinks he's got pace. He's gone for the undercut. As Jack Tyler, clueless, goes on the hard. So yeah, Jack Tyler's race is done and dusted. And yet, Lickle says he wanted to do commentary in the end, but we couldn't get him an invite, and he's got homework to do. As Guy is P1, but with his 20-second time penalty, hopefully he drops down a few positions. So Game Freaker pushing on, but yeah, Powdy going for the undercut, which worked to great effect in Hockenheim when he pitted early, got that clear air, and put in some great lap times. With Powdy really in traffic is not great, but in clear air, I think he's a mighty man. As there's a racing point in, it's Flying Foam, so Flying Foam's responded to Powdy's undercut. And yes, Aaron, I'm well aware, unfortunately, of the turnout, but as I said, it will be rectified for next season. And sorry, guys, I've missed the change of the lead. Phoenix leads the Grand Prix as Leroy sends it down the inside. A little bit naive there, as Phoenix runs wide slightly there as well. So sorry about that, guys. I was a bit distracted by the midfield, the juicy midfield action, you know, which really does get the juices flowing on a cold Sunday night. So yeah, Phoenix leads, but I guess it was just an easy pass for DRS, which, to be fair, people don't want to be seeing easy DRS passes. As Flying Foam has closed the hard tyres. Perhaps people don't do their tyre data. They don't do their due diligence, is what I'd say. Yeah, due diligence, very important. Getting that tyre data, crucial to a Grand Prix. Because, you know, going on a set of hards, you can't get them warmed up. And they're just a bit slow. And the mediums can easily go the whole race. Well, the whole race from now. So will Leroy go for the undercut? Looked like he dummies slightly. Will he look to make a move into the centre S? Leroy down the inside, maybe he has a little bit of a look. But no, stays behind as Gray responds as well. So as Zexa, where's Zexa? Zexa's past Game Freaker. Great move there. As we need to go back on board with Taze Leroy. Sits behind. So yeah, Taze Leroy sits behind. Anything going on further behind? Nope, Game Freaker. Game Freaker sits behind Zexa as the White Shadows. Oh, sorry, Powdy. As expected, Powdy to Flying Foam and way ahead of Trey Bay. So, and Jack Tyler's out of it. So yeah, Powdy really could be stopping Leroy from finishing this, from winning this title. I really think Powdy can get P3 today. A lot of what's that, slander in the chat. That's what I'd say. Slander is what I'd call it. A lot of rumours going on. Who's going to pit? And Leroy, I thought he was going to go for the undercut there. Up the inside. Will surely make an easy move with DRS. Yummy, 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 yummy. Leroy leads the Brazilian Grand Prix again. Phoenix is going to respond with DRS. Activates the rear wing. Rear wing open. Leroy goes defensive. A little bit of lag there for me. Hopefully I'm not lagging on the stream. Yeah. Let me know if there's a bit of lag as Leroy and Phoenix are side by side. A little bit of lag for me. I hope there's no lag for me, Mike. Thank you, Ushy McGill. I love it. I agree, Aaron. Petulant and naivety are the buzzwords of the stream, as Powdy is only 22.5 seconds off the lead. Surely these two will be looking to pit. Good, good, good. I'm glad there's no lag. It's the cars that are lagging. These Irishmen. Lag. They love the lag. So yeah, on board with Leroy. Well, who will blink first? Or they're going to do 19 laps on the soft tyres like F6 drivers like to do. So who's going to respond? Who's going to pit? They're not pitting. I'm getting a bit of deja vu. I'm getting deja vu as Leroy uses his down the inside into the centre S. Job done. See ya later, alligator. So Leroy leads here in until 16 of 36 done. We've still got our mammoth stint to go as Sophie decides to pit from mediums as... Ooh, a bit of jiggery pokery going on. Sophie's going to be doing 20 laps on the soft tyres. So, you know, the softs can go forever, and obviously the mediums can go. So that's why I don't understand these people on the hard tyres. People don't do their due diligence, their research. And yes, Jay, I agree. I think people stay out for the sake of it to be cool. You know, I bet they got a Bono in their ear saying hammer time, push, push, push. Let's stay out 5 laps and get undercut. That's what they want. They want to be Lewis Hamilton in Singapore. Try and be cool. So really, you know, I'll be getting these guys in right now. Pit, box, box, box. Especially if you're Phoenix, I'll be boxing this lap. But let's wait and see. Are the mechanics ready for them? No, yes, Phoenix does the right thing. Leroy, on the other hand, lacking a few brain cells. So yeah, Phoenix is in the Toros on soft tyres. So where will he feed at? And we'll have to see. Will it be hammer time for Leroy? Surely it will be hammer time for Leroy. He's not really using his so maybe it isn't hammer time. Anyway, let's look for some action going on. I'll tell you some action. Zexa and Game Freak is staying out. What's that all about? Oh yeah, I know what I want to watch. Bit of Sophie and Jack Tyler. See what Sophie can do. Not seen much of Sophie this race. But yeah, she's up to P9. Great stuff from Sophie. Scored points in every race. Third in the championship. Consistency. Experience. And look at that. Powdy, who went for the big undercut, is just behind the net race leader potentially. So that's what we're seeing it again and again. People staying out. And they just want other drivers near them. They want to make the race more exciting. Which is fair enough. So it could be costly for Leroy if he comes out behind Powdy. So let's see how it all plays out. Let's see what Leroy decides to do. Surely he has to pit. I mean, if he doesn't pit, there's issues. He decides to pit. Would he be able to get it slowed down in time? One of the harder pit lanes to stop for in terms of getting a penalty. So yeah, Leroy's in. Sexers speeds, predictably. So yeah, Powdy pushing hard. Phoenix is pushing hard as well. Yep, sorry. Got to lead up. Let's go on board with Phoenix. Where's Leroy? Let's go on board with Leroy, actually. Foot the lead up. So where's Phoenix? Here's Phoenix. There's Leroy on the left. Phoenix on the right. And Leroy maintains the lead. So yeah, the undercut. Not too major, and yes, one more I did. I've still got games left if I want to get gold 2, but I'll see how I'm feeling after, because I want to play a bit of squad battles just to get elite 3, I think. So yeah, I'm in gold 3 now. I can get gold. I think I've got 5 or 6 games left, so I could get gold 2, but not too much difference. But I'll see how I'm feeling. Yeah. So Game Freak really stay on. Look at this. This is what we wanted. Leroy, Phoenix and Powdy all very close to each other. And yes, Aaron, you're the biggest squad battles match that I know, but I rate it because you'll have a good team and you'll be ready for online when everyone's sitting back with 10 men because you're used to it. So yeah, I lost my train of thought there. So I was reading the chat, but yeah, Leroy has that lead. Phoenix is just behind him with Powdy sitting in. So I think we're going to be having a big bash for the win on the SJ. It happened the other day in F6. People staying out for the sake of it. The leaders just stayed out for the sake of it. So yeah, pitting when you said lap 12 to 14 is probably the ideal spot, because it's easy to just stay in DRS despite having 4 or 5 less laps on the tyres. Yeah, so Powdy, currently P3. Leroy will be scoring 6 more points. So the gap is 27 at the minute. So 6 more points will make him 33 points clear. And they will need a 34-point lead to take the title. So the title race is going to Japan. But it's surely a foregone conclusion because Leroy is throwing down some mega lap times. And yes, KLC was a very petulant young man, but Aaron Colwood seems to be, very mature fella. That's what I'd say. So yeah, I missed that. Sophie's up to P8 and she's closing in on 7th and 6th. So yeah, Sophie's strategy looks to be paying off as usual. She's on he's on course for some big points. Maybe P6 is what I'd say for Sophie. Yeah, and Leroy really's got good pace on these medium tyres. Phoenix struggling to stay within DRS. Yeah, Game Freak up. 6 seconds behind Zexa. So we'll stay on board with Game Freaker to see if we can get a move on Zexa. Uses the not much left, not much deployment to play with. Down to 5%. So yeah, Game Freaker really going to be de-racing as Leroy has already lost about 5 tenths there. So strange how he just lost. You know, he's about 1.2 clear now at 6 tenths. So a bit of a shame for Leroy, but at least it's making the race a little bit more exciting for everyone. As let's go on board with Sophie. Where's Sophie? Sophie down the inside of Flying Throne. And White Shadows, baby. Ooh, nearly contact. But yeah, Sophie up to 7th. And she's pushing hard. Looking for a P6. Yeah, so it's P7 for Sophie. Next up is White Shadows, who's having a better race after a difficult debut. We're back on board with Powdy. Just 3 tenths behind on those 9-lap-old medium tyres. We're sticking with these guys. That's just the thing. The powerful DRS, the powerful slipstream, really playing its part today. So yeah, Powdy activates his party mode, the hot lap. But just want to use, there we go, into the overtake. Can Powdy make a move? Will Phoenix make a move, I wonder? Not quite, not close enough, but I think, in my opinion, the best moves come after the CNRS. You know, you can really set them up nicely. But Powdy really tight there, really beautiful run out of the corner as Sophie has made up another move. Let's go on board with these guys and girls. So yeah, Sophie to P6, White Shadows P7. Looking to make a move back perhaps. Sophie's got the line, got the position, and up to P6. So, Flying Throne shambles of a decision to go on these odds. Not sure what he was thinking really. Had good pace. But just a bit of a botched strategy is what I'd say. Seems to be some flirting going on in the chat. Let's close the chat like ILR. Fine. So yeah, Powdy 4 tenths behind. Has a little bit of oversteer there from Jun Shao, but keeps it on the circuit. But yeah, stalemate at the front. It's Leroy and a Phoenix and Powdy. Leroy will lead into Japan with a 33-point lead. He needs to be 34 points clear to win the title. As Leroy really moves very late there. Bit of jiggery pokery going on, a bit of a weaving. No, Aaron, I certainly do not want a piece. I'll leave you to it. So yeah, Leroy. Obviously these guys, I've just forgotten that Zexa and Game Freaker are just behind. So we could have a 5-way battle for the lead still. Which is obviously what we want. We want carnage. Nah, nothing's confirmed. That's all I'm saying. Who says I'm even staying in the league? I'm gonna be serious. Like, let's not get too excited. Everything will be confirmed, you know, hopefully before Abu Dhabi. What decide? A little bit of lag there from Phoenix. Yeah, you mean when I beat you, when you disconnect every week? Yeah. Yeah. Washed Up Big C beats Aaron Collingwood, incapable of scoring podiums. And Aaron, I saw you comment. So I don't want you retracting it. I saw. So SSR Phoenix for the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Leroy moves late. Phoenix around the outside. And leads the Brazilian Grand Prix once again. So Phoenix leads, Leroy, Powdy, then Game Freak and Zexa closing in. Just 1.2 behind. So the battle for the win is hotting up as I'm running out of water. Yeah, these camera angles, I don't know who decides them, but very dodgy. Very oh, Zexa! Oh, Zexa's got damage! Disaster for Zexa. They were doing so well, but I think Zexa and Game Freaker's had a bit of contact. Game Freaker really getting his elbows out, and Zexa's race has been ruined. I didn't see what happened, but disaster for Zexo, who's got damage, and his chance of getting that win or getting that podium. It's gone down the drain as we've got... Oh. Sorry. We've got Callum Anderson in the chat. Hello, Callum. Honda Par. So yeah, Honda Par is in the chat. Yep, Bottle Hawk. Sorry about this view profile. So I don't know how I keep clicking it, but it seems to happen. So apologies. So that 25 with 36, Phoenix leads away. Leroy second, Powley third. Game Freakers just 1.4 behind. But Zexa with damage looks set to be losing more positions. Zexa with a time penalty as well. So Taze Leroy. Ideally we'll want to win today, but the title isn't going to be coming home. With Powley on in third, but his tyres will drop off probably towards the end of the race, which will allow Game Freakers to close in. So if Leroy wins and Powley's fourth, then the title will be coming home. So yeah, Leroy win, Powley fourth is what's sort of required. As Jack Tyler's bottled it somewhere. Jack Tyler's out. Disaster there for Jack Tyler, which obviously provokes everyone into the point. So Mike and Trey will be getting a point apiece. So yeah, Leroy uses the overtake. Yellow flag in sector 2 still. As Jack Tyler's left, will there be a safety car, I wonder? Safety car. To be fair, I think it's been a little bit more frequent since these patches. To be fair, I've seen it in other leagues. So yeah, Leroy down the inside has a little look, but sticks behind. And to be fair, I think Callum's more likely to be allowed back than Aaron, so yeah. So yeah, Phoenix, Leroy, Powley, Game Freaker really isn't closing. I don't think we've got a bit of green damage. And we'll just kept the penalties there and miss Drawbridge. Weybridge, whatever. So yeah, 2 warnings. 1 warning. Yeah, so no penalties at the front 3, which is very good. I'm just saying, I'm just saying objectively, Callum's had a very clean track record in league racing and hasn't been banned from PSGL before. No, but obviously I think the revolving door is always open. I'm not saying they're both not allowed back or they both are allowed back. I'm just saying Callum's record in league racing is very clean. And it's not been banned in PSGL before. So Leroy goes down the inside into the centre S and he gets the job done once again. So yeah, Leroy leads again, but it's not enough for the title. Phoenix is surely going to come back at him. Leroy goes defensive. Phoenix around the outside. And he leads in Brazil once again, so it's just going back and forth for the race win. But will it end in tears, I wonder? Will there be a twist in this title race? And look at that, Sophie, out of nowhere, is closing in for P5. So I don't know how Sophie does it every week. She just keeps it clean. She has a good strategy every week. And she gets big points. So let's just stay on board with Sophie. Yeah, I'm not saying... I didn't say Aaron was dirty. I'm just saying he's been banned in PSGL before. That's all. Obviously the chat's a little bit delayed, so obviously I'm not sure what comments you're referring to. On board with Sophie. Round the outside of Zexa. Zexa breaks late. Oh, I need to look at the front. Sorry, I need to look at the front because it's looking very tight. Powley. Let's go on board with Powley. Phoenix around the outside of Powley's going to launch it. Surely, go on, Powley. Powley's launching it. He sticks his nose in. Oh, he just keeps his nose and keeps it tipping. And that's not what you shouldn't do. As Sophie gets up to P5. Zexa up the inside of Sophie. Oh, he properly launched that. Sophie's going to have to launch it as well. No, Zexa's fighting hard, fighting for his future in the division. And yeah, but to be fair on Aaron, some of his bans were a little bit BS. Like, he wouldn't have been banned Like, only one of his bans was fair, I'd say. The most recent one. The other two, I think, were a bit stupid. Like, he would have got away with one of them with just like a race ban, probably. That's why he will be allowed. Because I'm in charge, can I do what I want? So, poor Leroy. Can he take the lead back? It's like ping pong here in Brazil. Leroy down the inside, up into the centre S again. And yeah, great stuff. Game Freak is now under us. We've got a 4-way battle for the lead. Could it be Leroy? Phoenix Paddy, and obviously Game Freaker has a penalty, but can still be in the mix. There's Phoenix down the inside, and there's side-by-side action behind. I need to see this side-by-side action. Sophie down the inside. And yet, what more? I think I should be in F1. Have you seen some of the trash in F1? The likes of Ash Best, Game of Paco, and that. That's what I'm on about. Oh, Mike Messi! No, Mike Messi! Disaster for Mike. Heartbreak for Adam in the chat. Mike Messi struggling. On for a couple of championship points, but he's out of the Grand Prix, and I'm not sure how you lose it there, but he did. So disaster there for Mike Messi. But the show goes on, as they say. We've got a 4-way fight for the lead. It's Phoenix. Would it be Leroy? Would it be Powdy? Would it be a twist? Which hands the title to Game Freak? And Lickle Slot should be in F2 as well. But Leroy's defending hard. Oh, nearly rude in profile. Oh, well, he's trying to select the right thing. Where is he? Where is he? SSR Phoenix. There we go. So I'm all with SSR Phoenix. Round the outside. It's going to end in tears for someone. I can just feel it in my waters as Phoenix leads in Brazil again. Great battling so far. It's Phoenix and Leroy putting on a great show for all our fans in the chat. The likes of Bomber, Jay, Aaron, and Ushin Mook. And also Lickle, who's doing his homework last minute, supposedly. Look at that. Game Freak is now in the mix through this snake section. A lot of snakes in PSGL. What I'll say. A lot of snakes in the grass. So, like Lewis Miller, the biggest snake of them all. So yeah, Leroy through Jung Shao. What can he do? The young man, 11 years old, looking to become the youngest ever PSGL champion. Destined for big things, using his overtake, and will go down the inside once again into the centre S. I'm seeing deja vu. I'm seeing a lot of deja vu. Too much deja vu, but Powdy's really sitting in. Game Freaker as well. Let's come more with Game Freaker. Actually, no, let's come more with Powdy. Because Powdy's got a great view of these guys. Come on, Powdy. Use your ears and get in the mix. Launch one. Is he going to launch one? Leroy going defensive. Powdy around the outside. Surely not. The two Irishmen. The two title contenders. Leroy maintains position. So great racing so far. Nice and clean. With Game Freaker sitting just behind. Oh no, Powdy! Powdy! I don't know what happened. Did he get hit? But yeah, Powdy's round. Disaster for Powdy. And the title looks to be going to Leroy as Sophie's up to P4. Can someone tell me if Powdy was hit? Because I couldn't tell. Or if he just lost it himself. But yeah, someone tell me. But yeah, disaster for Powdy. The title, 12 points for Leroy and 3 for Powdy. So the title is coming home for Taze Leroy. As it stands, obviously. Thank you, Callum, for your reliable comments. So yeah, Leroy up the inside. And no. Beautiful helicopter shots once again here in Interlagos. But yeah, Leroy's becoming champion as it stands. Leroy down the inside once again. And he leads in Brazil. And he's going to be winning the championship. As I said, just as it stands. He'll be becoming the youngest champion ever. As it stands, of course. Things can all kick off. We have Powdy. Disastrous for Powdy. Down in Pier. But Game Freaker really doesn't need to lose much time. Because Sophie's only 4.7 behind. So if Game Freaker's got 2 penalties, Sophie's going to be picking up yet another podium. And imagine that. Sophie from 12th to the podium. She just loves picking up big points. And no one's really sure what went on with Powdy, so we'll have to review it later. But I just need to keep an eye on these top 3. It's Leroy, Phoenix and Game Freaker. Woo woo. who's got the freshest tyres of them all. He's got the freshest tyres of them all. So what can Game Freaker do in P3? Game Freaker doesn't care. He's going to do both of them. He's going to do both of them, surely. Game Freaker. Woo woo. Through the middle. Leroy down to third. Phoenix leads. Game Freaker second. Leroy third. So yeah, Game Freaker's going to be he's got the fresh tyres for them all. So he's got the pace. He's got the experience. Uses his eyes. Game Freaker. Looking to make a move down the inside. Leroy needs to be smart. Game Freaker down the inside on Phoenix and leads in Brazil for the first time. Legitimately. Game Freaker leads the Grand Prix. Phoenix is second. Leroy's in third. And who was last season's F4 champion? Nick Knockegan was the F4 champion last season. Ahead of Lewis Millam, or that laggy person. Seems so long ago, that was. So long ago. But times move on, people get faster. People like myself get less competitive. Maybe not slower, but was less competitive relatively. So, yeah, Nick won. Yeah, as it stands, yeah, Leroy will be champion still as it stands, because obviously Game Freaker's penalties, so it's looking good. But yeah, Nick Knockegan dominated the title race. He absolutely destroyed them in F4. White Fountain won F5. Who won F3? Can't remember. Can't remember who won F3, to be honest. It's always obvious when someone mentions it. So long ago. F2 obviously was Jay, and F1 was Blizzard. Yeah, Matt Tivos, of course. The F3 Merchants. Back-to-back F3 titles. Obviously Blizzard taking back-to-back F1 titles. Anything... Where is he? Flying Throne. But Zexa, White Shadows and Flying Throne could really heat up. Yeah, God won F2. Gayshatex, the God of the league. With his one race win in F1. So yeah, Game Freaker's pushing hard. He's got the tyres and he's got the pace. But obviously that collision with Zexa might go to the stewards. And we're already on lap 34, 36, so it's really blown by. But one man. Looks like Leroy is going to be champion of the world. So yeah, Leroy looking to make a move maybe. Practice late. But nicely done. I think I'm going to have to go back on board with Flying Throne in a minute. But I need to stay on board with Leroy. Because he's battling Phoenix for the win here. I'm not God. Allah. Sorry to those who are Muslim. So, yeah, Phoenix second, Leroy third. This is the battle for the win. Use your Game Freaker's penalty. Yes, okay, you're not really a winner. It's fair to say you're... I don't know, you're quite consistent, but you're not really that consistent. F1 as Leroy sends it down the inside. Aggressive stuff there. And maybe Game Freaker could get away slightly. This is the battle for the win, remember. Maybe Leroy needs to stay behind and use DRS to overtake him. As we are approaching the final lap here at Interlagos, Game Freaker looks to be taking the win on track. Now he's broke DRS from Phoenix, but yeah, Phoenix is going to be vulnerable. And Leroy surely is going to be looking... And he picks up a time penalty. What a mom. He picked up a time penalty there. And he's going to be pissed off, that is for sure. Leroy is going to be fuming. But maybe the title is still going to be there. Actually, is it going to be there? He's going to be scoring 3 points. And Leroy is going to be scoring 10 points, I believe. So yeah, he'll be scoring 8 points over Powdy. So he will be champion. But obviously if Powdy gains a few positions, then it all can change. So my maths needs to be very quick on the spot, is what I'd say. So yeah, Powdy 1.2 behind, but penalties probably will play a part with some of the lower guys. Game Freaker looks to be taking the win on track. But let's see how it all plays out. But Phoenix looks set to be taking the victory. Phoenix has not won all season, I do believe, actually. No, yeah, Phoenix finished second in Singapore and third in France. So it's been a long time coming for Phoenix, who looks to be on course to take the win here at Interlagos. So it's the final lap. Will it be Leroy taking the title today? Game Freaker is driven beautifully this evening. It's a shame penalties will play their part. Maybe Phoenix have got a penalty. I don't know about. Oh yeah, Phoenix. Game Freaker wins. As Phoenix takes the win, Leroy second. Game Freaker in P3. We'll see where Pauli comes through before confirming the title. This is Sophie finishes third as Pauli finishes seventh. So it's 4 points for Pauli, but it is 12 for Leroy. So it's going to be Leroy becoming the F4 champion, becoming the youngest ever champion. So he scores 12 points, Pauli scores 4 points, so that's an 8-point game, meaning the gap is now 35 points with a maximum of 34 points on the table. So yeah, Leroy is the F4 champion for season 23, becoming the youngest ever champion in PlayStationGL history at just 11 years of age. So congratulations to Lee. Is he the next Blizzard, the next Ash Best? Or will he not be able to reach those heights? But it's fair play to this man. SSR Phoenix driving beautifully. No penalties to take his first F4 win. But is Leroy in the McLaren becoming F4 champion with 2 rounds remaining. There we have it. Drivers celebrate on the podium once again. A great race. Lots of clean wheel-to-wheel racing. Lots of great battling on show with Phoenix and Leroy deservedly taking the spoils here at Interlagos. So it's Phoenix taking the win. Leroy is in second. Sophie with a brilliant third. Game Freaker 4. White Shadows 5th. Throne, Pauli, Sex X-Ray and Mike ran up the top 10. So there we have it. We'll just have a quick chat with Phoenix and Leroy to get their thoughts. So yeah, I'm just inviting Phoenix and Lee to the party and we can have a little chat. So there we have it. Brazil done dusted and we have Japan next week. Then the finale in Abu Dhabi. So we'll just wait to see if Phoenix joins us for podium interviews.
Oh god.
Yeah. Phoenix, can you make sure your party settings are like allow your voice?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, because usually it isn't. So.
Wait. By the way, who won?
What do you mean? You won.
You won.
I did. Oh, because when I crossed the line, I ran out of fuel. So.
No, you won. You had no penalties.
If I didn't get a 50k, I won or not.
Yeah. Leroy getting penalties on straights. So, anyway, let's get on with it. Hopefully Phoenix's voice can be heard. So, yeah.
It is.
Good. So here we have it, the top 2. But yeah, we'll start with Phoenix. Phoenix, your first win of the season. No penalties. A great battle with Lee, all race. Very tactical. You know, sum up your emotions and obviously reflect on that battle with the new champion.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I'll be dead honest. I did not expect to win because it was also one of my worst tracks. But like last second, I found a really nice setup, and I'm not gonna lie, that's like the toughest battle I've ever had. Like Jesus Christ, it was like every single lap was overtakes, and I think when it came down to the second to last lap, I think when Leroy dive bombed me, I just got a tiny bit of wing damage. I mean, if he didn't let me go, then I would have lost. But yeah, not much to say to be honest. But congrats to you, Leroy, on the championship, though. It's very good. That's about it.
And yeah, Phoenix, you know, you've had strong pace throughout the season. You know, was a win ever on your mind? Did you ever think you could take a win this season, or is it a bit of a surprise?
You know, funnily enough, a track I thought I could win was Spain, which is quite funny actually.
But
yeah, but I mean, I don't know what happened there. I was someone else. but I always thought I could, if I just got a setup, I could challenge Leroy. I didn't know if I could win, especially not at this track. I thought more tracks like Spain and France, but you know, stuff happens. But it all went to plan today, so you know, thank God for that.
Yeah, well done, Phoenix, and hopefully we'll see you in Japan or Abu Dhabi on the podium. But obviously now moving on to the youngest ever champion in PSGL history, at just 11 years of age, the class of the field, the main man, Leroy. Congratulations on becoming F4 champion. You know, it looked to be, you know, written, set in stone, so to speak. But you had a great battle there with Phoenix. So sum up your emotions on finishing second and obviously winning the title.
Well, first of all, I just want to say it's been an enjoyable season. And I set my ambitions for this, and I think a lot of people expected me to be beaten by the likes of Troy and Colin, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I fought through in the end, and the 2 races to spare. And thank God, because I couldn't bear another Japan title this either.
Yes, obviously. It was disastrous in F6. And yeah, Leroy, you've clearly had the pace over the field this season. You know, what does the future, you know, have for you? Is F3 or maybe even F2 where you want to be in the future?
I have no clue. This is a wait and see, though.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, there's potential to be a guest driver in F2. Will you be giving F2 a go this season at all?
I'll take it tomorrow, yeah. Probably Japan and Abu Dhabi for that matter, if this goes.
Yeah, well, that'd be quite useful to see your placement. And obviously, finally, Leroy, you know, you've had some tough competitors this season, lots of Powdy, you know, Phoenix, and a few others. You know, got any words for these guys?
Well, I mean, they're all giving me a good fight. But I think with Shred being missing, I think that's what really settled it. I think it would have been all closer if he wasn't missing, but... and also, I've outscored the Ferrari. I think me and Giroud, if we get a good team result, we could take them away the constructors, so...
Yeah.
The opposite of last season when McLaren took doing the double.
Well, yeah, the constructors obviously should be up with grabs. I've not really calculated or looked at it too much, but I'm sure when Frome does the results, we'll soon find out how that all stacks up. But yeah, there we have it. As like I said, Leroy, the new champion, the youngest ever champion, beating Ash Best and Blizzard's record set in F1 in the last couple of years. So yeah, we have 2 rounds left. Japan at Suzuka, then the Yasmani circuit for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix before a 2-week break, which includes the Race of Champions, where we'll be seeing Leroy race against some of the big hitters of PSG. And obviously the runner from F4 will join him, which is likely to be Powdy. So there we have it, guys. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully Lick will be back for next week so I can speak a bit less. But yeah, congrats to Leroy and obviously Phoenix on the win. Thank you and good night.